I do start with land rights and the humanity of Native people and how do you protect that. And so it's not a theme. If you don't go out there and live with the community, well then someday you won't have anything to paint about. I think you've got to be somewhere near the natural world to have information and the inspiration and the spirituality that you need to make art. And that's where I get to the words, paintings, shapes that I make. Those all came from the land out by Gary, Oklahoma. So we have a very flat kind of reality from the sun, rise, sunset, and storms coming and whatnot. That flatness is what I come out of traditionally. The imagery comes from the land, sort of these tree shapes or bird shapes or someone called it feather shapes or cloud shapes. I work with what I had, and my grandmother probably raised me in my life, so she was very strong to give me those visual kind of clues to be more politicized. The ghost prints are very important, and that's what is a technical phrase from having a plate. You can have all kinds of plates to make prints with. So then you paint and you ink it up and you pull a print or you lift up one sheet of paper after putting it through the press. That's called the primary print. You put another piece of paper on it, put it back through the press. That's called a ghost. The primary print represent who we are as Native people. Bright, vibrant, strong, clear. You think we're like the ghosts. You think we're gone. You think we're absent. You think we're hard to ever see, but we're really like the bright primary prints is what we're like. And so, but I put them together as this absence and this presence together. And that's what I do with all my work. I ghost everything I make now. And I use the ghost as a kind of political stance. As an elder artist, you're lucky and you're kind of gifted if you can generate your own visual form and then it follows you or you follow it. For me, it's all about the contrast. And it's almost like a kind of a human kind of metaphor. And we're different people, and we contrast each other, but we're sitting in this room together. And so that's how my shapes metaphorically live. There is repetition, there is like a repeated imagery or a cadence. I think some of that I gravitated toward is that rhythm that in the dance or in the drum, that I'm really, it has a part of my life always is that drum beat, the heartbeat. Every day, my mission is to put 4 shapes on each platform. So I sort of keep the cadence of, I guess you'd call it a sacred number, but it's just a method of working that ties back into where you are on the planet, the extreme sun, rise, sunset, the solstice markers. It's about a person's expression. I'm not really like a slave to the market, as I said, or the media, to be used like a tool, to talk about, land rights only. You have to put the work out there to have a full description of yourself and be a human being, be a personality, have sensuality, have, sorrow, happiness. It's the range of emotions and sentiments. And whereas in the past, natives haven't been allowed to do that. And I'm still waiting for that.